guys, so I'm just going to do, obviously, welcome to DD's Art, and this time I'm going to do a graphite one. I've not done a graphite one tutorial before, and I'm going to show you how I first started out. First of all, I have a piece of paper, and I've got a grid here. It's a see-through grid with lines on it. I put this on top of my piece of paper and I draw the lines. You can't see them now because they have been rubbed out, but they come from there like so. You can see them on the thing where I've slipped with my pencil, but apart from that you can't see it. But so they're the lines on down the paper. So you're actually drawing by really faintly, very faintly as you can, barely touch the paper, just so that you can just see it, like boxes. So you've got like 6 boxes, and then you take the exact same piece of paper to your iPad or whatever you're drawing from, piece of paper, whatever, but make sure you don't move it. Now this, I've done this now so I can do with this, but if you're doing it with your iPad, be careful, ever so careful not to touch, because you still can move your picture around through your see-through piece of paper. So be careful not to touch, because if you do, you will find that you struggle to get it in the exact same place as you had it in the start. So then anyway, I move my I move it like as close to like the lines. I get the lines like sort of like vertical with the drawing, and I draw exactly in this box what I can see in that box, in the far box, sorry, in that box. I draw exactly in that box what I can see in this box, and then that box I can see in the middle box, and so on, so that it is all exactly the same. It's a bit like putting a jigsaw together, if you will. But this is the piece of paper I always use for line gridding. So it's a little bit bigger than A4, tiny bit bigger than A4. Pardon me, purposely, because well, then you know you're definitely going to fit all your picture in. You don't want it too small, basically. So yeah, so I've got my line down anyway now, so we're going to start filling in. So here's the fun part. Hi guys, welcome back. Now I was showing you how the graph worked. You can't see my lines at all now. You maybe can see a little bit there, which I will get rid of. Definitely, yeah. Can see a bit of my lines. I think that's got it. Now I'm going to do the eye and around the eye. So yeah, this is my first. I did say welcome to DD's Art, didn't I? Yes, I hope I did anyway. And you can hear me fine. So this is my first graphite tutorial. My other ones have all been colour. I am mainly a graphite artist, so I never even thought about teaching graphite before, to be fair. Just always got on with it, with graphite, because I started with graphite and that's it. I basically never thought about teaching it, so hopefully there will be some people out there that will find my tutorials handy. So So I'm going to start off with, obviously, you know, as I said, I've started off with my outline. I've done my outline and I have blotted it out with this, which is a kneaded eraser. Putty eraser, also known as a kneaded eraser, putty eraser, whatever it is called. You can get these on eBay, Amazon, anywhere like that. Mine, I use the Faber-castell range. These are in a like plastic bag sort of thing, so that keeps them like clean. So you can use these for quite a long time. I have a tub somewhere full of old kneaded eraser because I know that it will come in handy sometime, probably for something, you know that. I'll keep that just in case it might come in handy. Yeah, that thing. So yeah, I've kneaded most of the lines that I've put down now. It took me about 4 hours to get all the lines that I wanted to get down. They're not perfect, but I think I can work with them. I mean, I've got this bit here and here all marked out, so I know that that's dark up there and stuff like that. So yeah, but I am going to start with the eye and work my way out, which is what I usually do and what you will find most artists usually do, whether it's using graphite or colour. So I'm not going to speak too much, I'm just going to get on with it. Starting with my HB mechanical pencil, and I am going to outline the lines in the eye. My husband is currently downstairs cooking the dog's dinners, so if you can hear some banging in the background, that's him cutting up sweet potato. And that's next to his dog. So get this outline. It's quite a dark eye, so it's really difficult to see where things start and end. So you've just got to like sort of plainly draw down where you think things are. I know there's a line in there. There's a little bit of a dot here as well, very faintly. Then there's a white highlight around here. I usually do time lapses with my graphite dogs, but this dog's actually one I've chosen off my competition on my group. I do the odd competition where you can win a free portrait, and I did one recently saying if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and post your photo below of your dog that you would like me to draw, I will choose one from my subscribers that have subscribed to my channel to draw. So yeah, if you're interested in maybe getting a free portrait from me, maybe join my group DD's Art on Facebook. Maybe have a nosy over there and look out for the competitions. I don't mind if you only join for the competitions. I don't do any teaching on there or anything like that. I just show the artwork off that I've done. And there is 5.4k members in that group. So I'm still outlining now with this HB mechanical pencil, thinking where there are some faint, it's like a faint hairline there, and there also comes through the eye. So here, so that's, don't like using the rubbers on the end of my mechanical pencils, but I've just used it there, so that was alright. It worked out okay. So the ears are coming down on this bit, so I need to make them look as though they're coming down. Oh, this is the first time since uploading the final of the upload of the coloured horse that I did the tutorial for the horse, that I have actually been in my office to do something, because I've been so tired. Like, started progesterone pills, and as soon as I start progesterone it just seems to knock me for six. My whole vision of life just changes, and there's a hair coming up, and I think it's around here. Only very lightly. I'm not even pressing on with this pencil, I'm just touching the paper, not making any dint at all, just touching the paper and getting my no, that seems to go darker, but you can still see that, but it does come up from there. And go over like that, and there's a big dark, really dark circle inside that comes down. Excuse my froggies. Comes down there. Again, that carries on all the way up there, and this seems to be quite off put. So this seems to come out a little bit. This white highlight, the hairs, still not denting the paper, just touching it in the direction of the fur. Put some hairs in coming off. And I must have drawn at least 300 dogs, I'd say now, at least, in my time. 50% practice, 50% commission. Well, 50% practice, 30% commission, 20% competitions and raffles and charity and stuff like that. That's about alright. Keep this going, but around here it's quite dark underneath this bit here, and coming out of this bit it's quite dark as well, but I'm just gonna same as that. There's one for line. That goes really faintly up. Because that is lighter than this bit here. Pressing on a little bit now. I don't know what else to do a tutorial of next. See my people I follow, see them posting all the time, and I'm like, do they just save videos from years ago and then just repost them like a year or two later or something? Or are they actually making these videos? It's like, because they seem to make a damn lot of videos. I've got to be careful here because that bit's really light. Goes all the way around that. You've got to be quiet when you're thinking, you just got to be quiet. I'm just getting all these like markings out so I don't lose them and I know where I'm going. I know that's that was a big sigh, wasn't it? Let's darken that a bit up because I know that bit's dark. Right, now I'm going to get my sharp 4B Faber-castell graphite pencil. Normal graphite 4B pencil, and come into these darker areas really lightly, ever so lightly. Pull out some of these darker areas Remember the one that I did the outline with, there was HB. 4B's darker. The higher you go in the B, the darker and softer the lead. The lower, higher you go in the H, the higher you go in the H, the lighter and harder the lead. So a 8B is so soft and very dark, and a 8H, and I don't even think there is an 8H. Might be a 7H and a 6H, but they're so light but very dark. So it would be good for invisible hairs, but they are there. If you know what I mean. Going around this highlight with this, like I say, this high is really quite dark. You can't really tell much of a difference between the dark and the light inside this high, but my vision's telling me the eyeball is there, because I've drawn so many dogs. I pretty much know the structure of a dog now, so it doesn't take me as long. Then I might get my tortillon. Get out a tortillon. A tub of these. Paper blenders, tortillons, whatever you want to call them. I'm using a little one, just a piece of paper rolled up basically, but I use it for blending out. So I'm going to blend that out into there, that way, very lightly, barely touching the paper. Blend that out that way. And then blend that line in that way. So that line isn't as obvious. Not touching, not pressing down on the tooth of the paper at all. In fact, I'm probably trying to rub it in and underneath the tooth of the paper at the moment. And I know that bit's darker there, the very top here, apart from these bits which are quite light. So I've got my 4B again. I'm going to leave them bits really light. Come in and put the dark in here. And again at the very end. Remember not pressing down very hard at all. I will probably use my stipple brush on this bit. stipple brush is this. It's just got a tiny bit. I've cut all the bristles off, so there's barely any there at all. Can you see that here? There's barely anything there whatsoever, bristle wise. And oh, there I go, drop it. I'm not going anywhere, Alfie. I'm just picking my brush up. And then I'm just gonna like sort of tease the graphite into the paper in a circular motion. Tease the graphite down in and under without pressing on. Just tease it so it stains the underneath. As you can probably hear, I've got the dogs in with me today. It's raining. Well, the sun's out at the minute, but it is raining on and off, so keeping them in here with me today. Go over all that black with this stippling brush and stipple it all in, including the eyeball. And then I'm going to go back over again now with that, with my 4B. Like I say, by the end of this I'll probably be using my black Faber-castell polychrome rose to really darken this eye up, because it is very dark. Day is it? Oh, skip. I thought it would bin day then. And jumped on my seat. Forgot to put the bin out. That's square. So make sure this stays dark. Put more above 4B over the top. So remember, I used this to blend out, so it needs replacing now. And I think that is the outline for that part of the eye. And I know this part is dark too. So I'm still going to keep this 4B and use it to come around. It comes in there for some reason. Down and then around for some reason. Still keeping a light hand. You don't want to indent the paper unless you're at the end, and even then it's not good to indent because you can get a shine with graphite. It's not a nice look. There's a little bit there, but you can't see it. It does go up into here, but you can only just see it. This bit around here is dark. So is this. Sorry for the noises, get being delivered next door. All around this highlight here is dark. Still not pressing on, turning my pencil as I go to keep the tip pointed and sharp. It's quite far out, so I can't work it out if it's really dark up to there. I think it is. Then comes back down to light. Bring some of these areas out. Get darker around that highlight again. And then I'm going to use my stipple. What was that? Oh my god, my phone again. I'm always dropping my phone. Nearly charged. So, see if I always use my stipple brush to stipple the dark. I don't know why I call it stippling. It's like forcing the graphite under the tooth of the paper with this brush, keeping well away from them white highlights. Keep them white highlights for as much as you can. Don't cover them white highlights. I really need to go over this bit because this bit is quite dark as well. But I haven't used that here yet. So is that. For some reason it goes up and around. It must be darker. Probably say there's a little bit lighter in there, to be fair. So this is a mono Tombow, mono 0 Tombow eraser, and it is like, it's on a, so you can have it as long as you want, and you can get refills for this once you've bought the case. With a pen you can get a refill. So these gloves I'm wearing, they are, you would find them mostly probably underneath digital art glove probably. So yeah, so I just took a little bit out there because I think that carries on, but it's so dark, I'm going to leave it for now, but it is like quite dark there, but then it comes around and it's so dark underneath this bit. Pressing down a little bit on these bits now because they are quite, with my 4B pencil. Make sure I take it up and around that bit. Then I want to get my blender and blend this into here again. Not pressing down the tooth of the paper at all. Just sort of like blending these two sides together into the middle. And then I'm going to get my 2H. I might use F actually. Use F sharpened and come in here and it's a little bit of a harder pencil so it pushes down the graphite into the tooth of the paper, and it's a bit of a dark pencil as well, so where I can see it comes out of here dark, go back over my 4B to push it down into the tooth of the paper because it's a much harder nib on the F. So this is a lot darker. Especially coming down here. It almost sort of blends in there. Keep it very dark up this side as well. It's quite dark up here. There's not much difference between the eyeball and the iris and the outer ball bit, to be fair. That F's allowed me to put some F in here as well. F in here as well. Sounds like I'm swearing. I mean the pencil. It's an F. See? Next door one's busy. And all sorts of stuff delivered. Must be repaving the front or something because it's got skips and new slabs being delivered now. Outdoor workers are allowed to work now. But they've got to be 2 foot apart. I think this is actually for my next door neighbour. Plus paving. God, here we go for the noise. Right, so now I'm going to use my blender blend all this out, blend all this into here, bring it in and join it all up because it's like an air but it's really dark. Then I'm going to blend all this out here with this tortillon. Here we go, my next door neighbour's totally not listening to the rules. Just took off with them paving slabs, that's weird. I think I know why it passed. Bring this down a little bit more. My tortillon. Now I am going to get my black Faber-castell. I'm going to use the one that I have got in my sharpener extender and get it to a very pointy point and go over this black. Oh, the very pointy point broke off. But that doesn't matter because it's still sharp. And I'm going to really lightly go over all this black. With this so that it stops any shine on my graphite. And I even eventually come in with a pit marker just to really blacken it up, because it is so dark. Making sure I keep some lines there, because there's like hairs going over the eye. Use this to put some of these in, and then go over that eyeball. Over and around, keeping that white, beautiful white highlight. Blacken that pupil up. That pupil actually comes all the way down into here. Goes up. And around, and it's dark. This is dark. The other side is dark. Right up to that. Highlight. Keeping it dark all the way around that highlight. And coming in on that highlight, is I'm going to use Prismacolor Premier Colourless Blender for this bit. There is a slight line. I'm going to drag the graphite from here, because there's a slight line there. It's a bit darker at the edges. And maybe in the corner. And then this eye has a line coming down there. and then it goes around, and using the colour from around the side to blend it through. And around, just because you can just about see that. Then this bottom isn't as white, it's like a low toned grey, so I'm going to use my tortillon and blend that through. And get my 4B pencil and start to bring this out here. For some reason it's quite dark there. Put some dark dots in around this eye here with this 4B. Then I'm gonna come up and over this 4B and start making some lines for the eye. Like so, and some lines in here. Try not to make them uniform. Don't put line after line after line, because dog's fur isn't like that. So then I'm going to get my tortillon and smudge them out a little bit so they're not too obvious. Sorry, that's my next door at. Got a picture of the last horse. The horse that I did on the next door hat last night, and asked people to thank. So now loads of people are thanking me for posting it. Asked people to thank me for the work I've put in and stuff. And I didn't expect anyone to thank it, but my phone keeps bleeping with thank yous for posting it, so people must like it. Going over this bit now with a little bit of a darker B, but the pencil and not the mechanic pencil. B's like mid-range, it's sort of hard but not, and soft but not, if you know what I mean. It's like sort of mid-rangey. See what I mean by there's not much difference between this bit. There is on this side, there's a bit more difference on this side. But not this side. And there's a line. Going up. So I think I'm going to get my F and try and push some of that graphite down and get this a little bit darker again. Now I'm going to get my tortillon again. Spread a bit more of this graphite and polychromos out from this bit. Quite dark up this area, this bit. Blend that out as well, a little bit I think. I'm definitely into here. Really dark in there. Going to use a Pit Artist pen now, black, so I can get these blacks really black. I know I've done my blending now, so I know I can go in with a Pit Artist pen and really darken up where it's black. It's black as the Ace of Spades basically, so I know I'm safe using this. Once this is down you can't blend, but if you know you're safe to use it, you can do it. You've got to be careful with this because I want you to put it down. That's it. It's down, you can't move it off. Not everybody prefers to do this, but it's one of the ways to get it black without creating a graphite shine. And you can go over it, well I go over it with polychromos. Yeah, even on a graphite pencil I use a black polychromos. Just going over all this place where everything was definitely dark black. Comes down around. I need to shoot. Oops, sorry, I forgot I was recording then. I've got my earphones in as well at the same time. I'm being a sneak. Right, that's enough of that. And I'll go over that with my black polychromos just to make sure it's blended in and it doesn't look like pen. Bring some polychromos black into here where it's nearly as dark. Not bringing that in. Make it darker there. Blend that in there. so it's not obvious pen. Bring that out there. And there we go with the eye nearly done. So now find the darkest part of the underneath, and I make sure I don't lose them lines that I put in before. Bring it in like fur would, in the right direction of the fur that's first going. There's a dark bit coming out there. Find your dark bits. Make sure you get them right. In the direction of the fur, always in the direction of the fur. Keep your vision on the reference photo all the time. It's not easy to teach and draw at the same time, and please excuse me if I'm a little bit like sketchy, because it's not easy to do both at the same time. It's like, because you want to concentrate but you've got to talk, and I'm not for talking when I'm concentrating. So you will have to excuse me if I don't 100% do this right. I teach you right 100% fully on this first graphite one. You'll have to forgive me. But I am basically just picking out the darkest bits that I can see in this like picture, the reference photo, and gathering the darkest bits together and working out which way the fur goes marking that all out. I know it comes down here, but then there's a sharp exit off, or is that there? That might be there actually. Straight across from there, maybe. I've confused myself. I'm confusing myself here now. Well, that this comes down, that got to come down there like that. There's a line that comes straight down there like that. And it's dark in here. So I'm using my 4B at the minute still. Just still picking out the dark areas of this. Just like putting in and layering in little lines. Although you can't see that the little lines, you need to go in the same way as the fur is going. Now you can't see the shape or the way of the fur that's going at the minute, but your pencil strokes underneath need to be that way for the pencil strokes on top to follow. If you start going down like this, you're going to feel ridges and it's going to start picking out the graphite, and it's going to show underneath that you've gone different way with your pencil underneath. I'm going to stipple this bit in because it's a little bit dark here. I'm just really lightly stipple it in. Still in the same way of the fur. I'm not going to start going up and down like that just to stipple it in. I'm going to go in the same flow of the fur. If even making it a like feathered touch to feather it out. And I'm going to get my 4B again and come back in and do this bit again because it's quite dark here. May come in first with my tutorial and blend these out, and then my favourite bit is coming up. Stop believing pass with me. Still all in the same way as the, and not pressing on at all. Not pressing on at all. Just blending them lines out so they're not obvious, that's all. Going in the way that the fur goes underneath. Would you like me with the good stuff, babe? I hope my son watches this. Both of them even. Then they might learn. Because my eldest son has always said, why didn't you give me those jeans? Why didn't you give me the drawing gene? Wish I could draw like that. Bless him. Maybe I don't think maybe he's sat down and tried. I bet he can. Especially if he watches something like this. Right, now I need the brush that I use for this. This is going to have to be this one. It's just a plain old makeup brush. And it's got like quite stiff. Not major stiff, but, and I'm going to tease this graphite around, and the eye will stay black now because I've put that pen down. The brush can't spread that pen around because pit pens are permanent and light fast and everything else. So I'm just slightly spreading the graphite around and pushing it into the graphite paper. The tooth. Oh my god, help! just tease it underneath the tooth of the paper. just use it to your advantage, and including this here. Drag it down. Trying your best not to go into any highlights or cover any marks you've made up. It's just no time to die. Same with this here. Although I think there's a light hair around there, so I'm being careful. I think this is where the ear starts coming up, so I'm going to push and tease upwards there. Fool me twice, paradise. That's that line down there is straight. It needs to be straight. And that's a lot less smaller than I'm showing it to be. And I'm going to get my sharpened HB pencil and bring some detailed lines out into here, the same way as the reference photo is showing. I think these are quite dark. Then I'm going to get that brush again, and then I'm going to tease that out. Careful not to go over any lines that I've already put in. HB again. Oh, that looks like a love art. Where's that? So that comes into there. Goes up. HB, just bringing this round now. Just bringing this outer layer of hair around his eye, because it goes out. From about here, inside here is dark. There's dark hair there, and then there's another darker hair coming up here, and even darker at the edge of there. So I'm pressing down a little bit now to get these hairs in. This is where it's dark. It needs to be pushed out into that bit. I'm going to use my tortilla. Where's she gone? To bring that down into this area. And maybe just cheat and put a little bit of that in there. Bring these up a little bit with this HB pencil. It's a beautiful, beautiful reference photo. That's why I've chosen it. I just thought saw it, and that's that, and just knew I just wanted. There's a few on there that I want to do, but this has come first, so yeah, this is the first one I'm doing. Keeping it in the, even the brushing, keeping going in the way of the fur. Everything goes in the way of the fur. Rubbing down, rubbing with the brush, rubbing with the tortilla, anything like that. It just always go in the way of the fur. And there we have the eye. Well, nearly anyway. Then I'm going to get my F, I think. Put some more, like, accentuate some of these airs. I know that one goes like that. I think this is dark. Sort of a little white there. Cute. I'm going to pick my 4B up quick and get this bit done here because it's dark. And I need to remember this bit is dark. So I'm going to put that in because it's dark. And so don't forget. And don't put it somewhere different. Because I was thinking that was there and it's not. So that basically needs to like tone down a little bit. That line there. So I got that wrong a little bit. But it's easy if you get it wrong, just rub it out and then go back over with your brush and blend it back in. Nope, that goes round. I got that wrong as well. Baby. Best thing about pencils, mistakes are quite easily rectified. Most of the time. Remember to only use that pit pencil when you're 100% sure that it is correct. to use it there, because once you've got that black pit pencil down, you have no way of getting it back up. I'm afraid it's not one you can remove. It's a permanent. Oh, that's dark. And then basically off that one is another one. So a dark line underneath there. And obviously there is a line coming off there. Not that dark though. But these ones coming off. Yeah, I'm going to only use my 4B for that. I might even use 3B stick to bring this out. This is a graphite stick. It's basically just a whole stick of graphite. They are my actual favourite things to use in the world. Love them. They're just brilliant. Keep in mind to brush that back. Used to the way you were here, but you're not going to bring Spain back on the memories. Like being weeping through. It's the ones that I die. Told to the ones that were lost on the way. Bring Spain back on the memories. Memories bring back you. I'm going to bring all that out as well and blend it out. Yeah, I know you're saying there's no detail in there, yeah, but I'm going to watch what I do in a minute. Everybody has some days, everybody has some days. Memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. burn that out and make sure it's all like, I know it's all, I'm going to use my 2B for this, my black matte 2B. It's a totally different pen, but it's still Faber-castell. It's just black matte. So I'm just going to basically come around this bit because I know it's darker. My husband's just decided to start hoovering the stairs. Sorry. No, it's not. It's just doing what I've already done. I've already hoovered. So then we know that bit's dark. I'm going to keep that bit in for now. It's quite dark. Just had to tell him I've already hoovered up. Yeah, backyard, but I'll just do it kitchen. I'm back under here now with my 4B. Just darken up around underneath for you, his eye. Make sure it's darker underneath here, but still a little bit light there because there's a bit of light still contrasting around that bit of his eye. So I'll keep that bit dark and that bit light. It's not that light, but we're going to keep it that light for now. Bring some of these out into here. Then coming down from this, there's a line there, and that's I don't know if you heard that, but something happened with the cat then. I heard him. It's a bit dark around this area here. Go to bed and make a cup of coffee for your head. Right, and then I'm going to lightly go over with my brush when I find it. This is where everything starts to start piling up. Just lightly go over everything with this brush and blend it through. I'm going to stop this video at 2 minutes, I think. 2 hours, 2 minutes. That would be a short, that would be a quick drawing. So I've done, nearly done the eye area. Now I come in with this now, my Tombow mono eraser, wipe off any excess graphite that we have on there, and pick out, because we've gone over and blended out that graphite, obviously his around his eyes aren't as smooth as that, but I pick out the highlights or hairs inside that just pick out some highlights with my Tombow mono eraser, some hairs. I'm actually going to chop the end off that because it's not quite straight as I'd like it to be, so I'm going to use my scalpel and chop the end off just to make it a bit straighter. It's not very straight. It's not very sharp, this one. That's better. I've got a little bit of a thinner, got a bit of a thinner, don't know if you can see that. I've got a bit of a point, if you will, so I can make thinner lines. And turn it round. Just get your eye on your reference picture and take out your highlights where you think you're going to need them. These are basically you need under highlights, if you will. pull out like whiter hairs. It's a bit darker down this area, so I'm not going to take too much out there. I need to chop the end off again. I'll use my stronger scalpel for this time. Just chopping the end off. Just to make it, just chop the end off. So it's like more square. Then I can get the square edge. Pull some of them out. Make sure to get them out. And then get the brush again. Use a soft bristle brush, makeup brush, whatever, just to get rid of any excess graphite, and then just brush back over that with that graphite. Yeah, you're probably thinking, well, what's the point in pulling them all out? But they're like underneath hairs, so you're just blending it all back in again. There, like that. And then get a very light 5H sharp. Need to sharpen this now. Oh, I broke it, that did. Difference between using a mechanical sharpener and the thingy one. Then you bring out your very, very fine layers with your very light pencil. I usually use this putting hairs in the white that I've pulled out, but this is really hard nibbed. So you just put fur lines in. Basically barely see that really. So I'm gonna get this not that one, freebie graphite stick and darken this back up, because it is quite dark underneath that eye. It's a lot darker than I've got it at the minute. You've got your darker highlights that you just need to keep making sure that they stay. Got an itchy eye. I hope I've not got makeup on today. I'm gonna get my colourless blender and blend that out. And I'm gonna get my brush again and brush it all back again. Just to give some layers into the fur. This all just gives like the impression of hair layers. Hair layers. And then ones that are underneath. Because now then you come back in with your Tombow again and you pick out even more. These ones stay light. into there, and then there's a hair that comes into there as well. And then lightly go over again with your brush. So not too. And that is basically, in 2 hours, how you draw a dog's eye. Trying to get it close enough for you to see without distorting. And that is how you draw a dog's eye. Simple when you know how, I suppose. So I'm going to leave that one there for the 2 hour video. Obviously, yeah, I like to keep it at 2 hours for uploads for YouTube. So if I can possibly. So I hope you have all enjoyed watching me draw this beautiful dog's eye. We'll be moving on to the top of the ear bar head bit next. But I am going to edit this video now. Try and find a new video edit program, and yeah, edit this little bit for you to probably work on. I will try to add as a thumbnail the reference picture at the end. I will upload the reference picture on the last video, so you will all have to wait for all the parts, but there should only be about 4 parts. So yeah, it'd probably just be eye, ear, nose, muzzle, and then body. So and there's basically no eye there. There's just a black like eyebrow sort of thing. So there's not 2 eyes on this one. So luckily I've only got 1 eye to draw. And that's basically the detail is basically in the ears, in the ear on this one. That's going to take some doing. That will probably take more than a 2 hour job. So, but anyway, I will catch you in part 2 of the dog. I can't remember what the dog's called at the moment, but I will find out the name somehow without letting the owner know I'm drawing him, because I can't upload. I'm going to upload all these at the same time, I think. Not sure yet. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I shall either upload as I'm doing it, or I'll upload all 4 at the same time, or 5 if it takes me 5. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and you that are subscribed, please stay subscribed, and maybe watch, like, share, even possibly. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll see you in part 2, guys and girls. Bye for now.